Good evening, Candlepin Bowling friends. We are at Ryan's Family Amusements for a Class B South matchup between the visiting bowler Phil Clough on the left and the commissioner Danny Finn on the right. So bowlers, let's get ready to go. We're going to do put 2 boxes at a time, a little bit different. 2 at a time, and Phil Clough will lead us off. And not the way we'd like to start with half whisters, but that's the way it goes. Fill right in on the head pin, leaving just one. Hey Nico, Dave Peterson here. I don't think we've ever talked, but seen you out there, of course, following these matches. Kind of a last-minute stream deal. But we knew the masses would be interested in watching this one with the veteran Phil Clough and, of course, the commissioner. And Phil connects for a 10 to start off his first box here. First string of 5. My name is Dave Peterson, and thanks for joining us, whether you're watching live or later on. Phil, again on the head pin, this time gets a drop there. 9-pin drop. Hang on there. We've got ourselves a strike. So, unexpected. How do we sound, Nico? Everything sound all right? Up steps the commissioner, Danny Finn. His 4th match. And just off to the right. And wide left on that one. Thanks, Nico. Hey, Caitlin, thank you. Should be a good one here. That's a great out by Danny for a 10. We'll try to move this over here. Box 2, Danny, right side of the head pin, trying to match Phil's strike, and he does. Each bowler with a 10, each bowler with a strike. I'd say we're tied after 2. Switch lanes. Here's Phil filling on his strike. Again on the head pin. Look out below. Almost a double.
We'll get it.
Phil just off to the left. LB and 8 Phil on the strike though. 28 through 2. Just shaves the object pin to the right for a 9 box. So 37 through 3 for Phil. Phil coming in with an impressive record so far. 2 matches in. He's 24-4 in the same division as Danny, as well as Bob Lee and Dave Edison. Phil on the Brooklyn side. 9-pin drop, but there is a piece of wood out in front that looks like trouble. And Phil just off to the left. That's a toughie. We'll give it another try. And he caps it, which is what you needed to do, I guess. 10 box of Phil has only left 1 on the deck, 47 through 4. And up will step Danny Finn. Remember, he's working on a strike here. off to the left. Punches through. Still has another ball to go on his strike Phil. And, oh wow, he almost pulled that one off. Tough enough to get the 4 horsemen. Also knocked off the 4, but not the 7. So it's a 9 Phil and a 9 box, I believe. Correct. So, okay. I'll give Danny 38 through 3. Phil had 37, and then a 10 box. And what do we got here? Lookout. One may not be done yet. 8-pin drop, and we've got some wood angled off to the left side. Question is, will it cover the 10? Oh, just behind it. That'll be a 9 for Danny. So what do you know? 4 boxes in. We're tied at 47 apiece. First string here from Ryan's Family Amusements. Phil on the head pin and gets a strike out of it. Second strike already. I think that's 4 out of 5 head pin hits. Filling his strike just off to the right. Always disappointing to get that lead off of hitting the 3-pin. Phil does have another ball here to go on his strike, Phil. And he hits the outside. That will be an 8 Phil. So completing the fifth frame, that will give him 65 through 5. And right on the mark for another 10. 75 through 6 for Phil. So Danny's stepping up at 47 through 4. He was open in the 4th box.
Yeah, you got a bogey too. Yeah, I only have 2.
All right, box number 5 here for Danny, starting at 47, off to the right. Similar to the one he almost made on the opposite side, last box. That will take down the head pin and leaving just the 2 on the right. And Danny's right on it for a 10, so that will be 57 through 5. Phil's sitting with 75 through 6. Oh boy. Let's see if the triggering is still disabled here on this one. Let's see if we're okay. Spin. That one. We're good here. That ball does count. And Danny for the spare right on it. Nicely done. A big mark there. They'll give Dan 67 in the ball. Phil's at 75 as we go to the 7th. Phil just off to the left. But look at this, commonly known as the Millis 8, although probably should be called the Millis 2. But we've got the 1 and 3 left. And Phil connects. Nicely done. Still have to hit the shots. So Phil now at 85 and filling that here in the 7th. Will come around, does hit the head pin a little bit light. He'll get 6 plus 1 more for a 7 Phil. Score correct on that one. That's a 7 Phil. Yep. That will give Phil Clough 92 through 7. Spare opportunity. Not an easy one with the pin in the back. Just off to left. Look out. Look out. Look out. Not quite. Close but no cigar here in the 8th for Phil.
Got one in the
And Phil spot on for another 10. It's 102 through 8 for Phil Clough. Looking at the scoreboard here, I think he's only left 1 pin on the deck, and up comes Danny to fill his spare in the 6th. Big ball right here. Oh, throws a beauty and hopes that one does go, and it does. The 10. And making it even better, nice piece of wood out in front of those 2 pins. Red line should take them. There it is. So the 8 Phil had given Danny 75 through 6, which was tied with Phil. Phil had a spare 7 in the 7th. Danny matches him with a spare himself. Let's see what the Phil is. Right on the head pin. You can't get any better than that. A thunderous strike by Danny Finn. These guys going at it. So Danny will be up 3 pins and 2 balls, 2 bonus balls. So Phil will need at least 1 mark, you would think. And he'll have to shoot down the 4 horsemen on the left. And almost. Everything but the 4. And just off the mark, that'll be a 9 for Phil. So he's 111 through 9. Definitely needs a mark here if he hopes to win the first string. And he'll be off to the right. Well, basically he's shooting at the same shot he just had. Of course, the 2 pin is not involved in this one. There is some wood behind that can push things off, and he just holds on to it a bit too long. There's the head pin at 10, but 121 for Phil. This very solid game, but Danny with 3 marks in a row here. He's heading in the right direction to take the first string. Working on a strike here, starting the 9th, looking for a double, and comes pretty darn close. Just off to the left, there'll be a 9 Phil on the strike, which is 114, with the 9 already on the deck. It's giving Dan the first game. So we still got a box to go at 123. Reset on this one. And 10th box, right down Broadway. Danny coming in with a record of 16 and 26, but still bowling at a 108, over a 108 average. In this very competitive B South Conference. And there's a solid 9 and a very, very impressive 132 for Danny Finn. He takes the first 2 points with that 132. Phil pulled an awesome string himself with the 121. So only 11 pins apart here as we'll get ready to start game 2. Danny mentioned before the match that sounds like the last time he took on Phil in ACST action, it was a clean sweep for Phil Clough over Danny out at Bogey Lane. So Danny looking for a little payback here this time around. We'll see what happens in the final 4 strings. We're off and running here. String 2. Fill off to the left and just leaves the 1 and 8. So head pin hit should take it if it's anywhere near a solid head pin hit. Let's take a look. If we can get around there. Oh, it was just a little bit light. The ball went to the right, the pin went to the left, and nothing went straight. And that'll be a 9 for Phil. Phil on the 3 pin. That'll be a tough spare conversion. Hi Mike, Danny took the first game, first string, 132 to 121. A Friday night shootout here in Millis. And right where the 2 pin would have been, so a 7 for Phil, so a 16 after the first 2 in the second string. Danny right on the head pin. Boy, he's getting some tremendous action off his head pin hits tonight, other than the spread eagle in the 10th frame in the last string. It's going for a single, just off to the right. And that'll be a 9, matching Phil's 9 to start. back on the head pin. This time leaves a 2-pinner. And then just off to the left. So both bowlers will be open here to start the second string. And a 10 for Danny. I'll give him 19 through 2. Leads the second string by 3 pins here early on.
Every single carrot.
And there's Phil back on the head pin, but right through the middle. Always a disappointment no matter how many times you throw that hit, that leave. Phil will get 2 to the right. And 2 to the left. That'll be an 8 box, so 24 through 3 for Phil. Phil's gonna just be off to the left. We get that Millis 8. I believe he picked this up earlier. Off the hand, he makes it. Nice job there by Phil. So a spare in the 4th for him, and he'll be sitting with 34 in a ball, and up steps Danny at 19 through 2. As league bowlers here on Friday night come in and start watching this match, and Danny on the head pin again. And that will be a pretty one if you can manage to make this one. Let's take a look. Right on the 2-pin. That's all he gets. And that'll be an 8-27 through 3 for Dan. Up 3 in completed frames, but up against a spare by Phil in the 4th. Just off to the left. Piece of wood up there that could help move things around. Boy, it looked like he hit that in the perfect spot. Just leaving the 3, 6, and 10. Dan takes down 9. That will be 36 through 4. And of course, Phil's working on his spare at 34, so anything more than 2 will give him the lead here in string 2. Well, he gets 1 more than 2, so 1-pin lead is now at 37. It's been a nip and tuck match through the first string and a half, and Phil almost connects. Right on it for a 10 for Phil, so he's halfway done here in the second string. He's at 47. And this time Phil hits the 3-pin, leaving the Cleary here. 4 horsemen left-hand side, plus the 9. And will it? hit this head pin just off to the left. That's the only pin remaining. And there's the head pin hit straight through for a 10. 57 through 6 for Phil. Dan steps up, of course, at 36 through 4. Picks the 3 off on the right-hand side. Still a spare lead, though. Oh, man. Almost. Leaving just the 7. Not in the gutter, but doesn't hit the 7, so that'll be a 9 box. 45 through 5 for Danny. And this time off to the right. Full horseman left hand side plus the 10. He knew that coming right out of his hand that it was going right. And just 2 on the deck. So Phil will still have the lead here through 6. Danny will go to the right, take the pin with the plank in front of it for a 9. 53 through 6. So Phil is up 4 as he starts the 7th box.
It was a 9.
Yes, yep. Yep, so actually he's up 3. Score correct going on here. We all saw Danny get that 10 pin there, leaving just 1. So 57, 54 through 6. Phil for spare. And he is right on it, and it does not go. Wow. Throws the same ball there. Sure looked good to me. That was the 10 box. 67. 10s are good, but when you throw a ball that could have been and should have been a spare, it's disappointing. But Phil right back at it. With the same 2 pins, a different piece of wood, plus the 7, and the wood is going to roll right into the gutter. So. So Phil going to give it a run, try to split it. It's one out of the 2. And slices off the edge of the whatever pin that was, right? That was the it's a 9 box, whatever. So that's a 76 for Phil through 8. Danny's at 54 through 6. And just off to the right. Is that 2 pin gonna fall? No. Wood behind the 2 pin should help with the 7. Everything but the head pin. So Phil will retain the lead in completed boxes with that 10 from Danny, puts him at 64 through 7. Because Phil has 76 through 8. What? Danny, this time on the head pin, leaves the same 2 that Phil just had. Let's see how this wood ends up working for Danny here.
Oh, you gotta talk to me about that. I definitely want to do this.
It is out there a bit. It is angled. And he connects. So that will give Danny 74 through 8 in a ball, so 2 behind Phil. So Phil's probably going to need to mark. Similar situation as last string.
Get in.
Light on the head pin, 8-pin drop, but leaving the 5 and 10. And it sure would have been nice to use that piece of wood, but it's rolled next to the gutter. Oh, it did hit the wood, and didn't work its way over quite enough. And that'll be an 8 for Phil, so 84 through 9. All right, there we go. Head pin hit. Oh, Phil just off to the right. Gets 2 out of the 3, so Dan with any kind of fill will be looking good for the second string, but you never know what happens. So that's a 9. 93, Phil. Some misfortune there with the wood. In the 7th box there. Should have been a spare. Here comes Danny filling his spare here in the 8th. He's at 74. So that's a 5 fill, gives him 79. So only needs 14. He's already got 5 of them. 14 to tie. Oh, he gave that a great bid. He might still get it after all, and he does. So 2 marks in a row here. 8th and 9th boxes. Danny at 89 in a ball here in the 9th. Starting the 10th. Only picks off 3, but it's 92 through 9. Just off to the right. And a 9 it will be for a 101 against Phil's 93. So both bowlers had tremendous first strings. Come down a bit here in the second, but it showed the score. You see Danny winning the first by 11, the second by 8, and Phil's up and at him here with the split. I'll show it again here quickly. There we go. 19-pin lead here for Danny after 2 games, 2 strings. And Phil trying to pull that off. Gets the 2 on the left. And that'll be an 8 box to start the 3rd string. Once again, Phil right on the head pin, but this time a little bit too much again. Flipped eagle for him. He goes to the right. That's those 2 plus the 7. That'll be an 8 box for Phil. So 16 through 2. Well, Danny, a different variation of what we've been seeing here, spread eagles, clipped eagles. And Danny will be looking for a big out here on his third ball. And throws it in the same spot, so disappointing 3, but still 9 boxes to go. And off to the right, but makeable spare here for Dan. Just punches out the 2. So both bowlers will be open here to start third string, and should be happy with that. That's a good 10. 1 bad box there, but Phil again off to a early lead, 16 to 13 through 2. Danny's been able to get some marks late in each of the first 2 strings. And talk about an unusual lead here that Phil has. One, 4, 8, 9. No wood to work with. Oh, gives it a try. Good pinning there, that's all Phil could do. Take a 9 box, 25 through 3. On the left side, Brooklyn side of the head pin, leaving that dastardly triangle. Nothing dastardly about it for Phil. He connects, big spare. So that'll be 35 through 4 and a ball for Phil. Dan stepping up 13 through 2. So he's been off the head pin, this time on the 3. So that'll be an 8 for Dan, 21 through 3, up against a mark here for Phil, spare. And again hitting that 3 pin. I'd love to pick this up to match Phil's spare here in the 4th. Gives it a run just off to the left. Chips off just 1. Some strings are more work than others. Just work to try to get a pin or 2 here or there. And Dan picks up 1 on the last ball. So that's a 7. 28 through 4 for Danny. He'll have some work to do. In the meantime, Phil's at 35 and a ball here in the 4th. Phil will be looking for a big Phil ball right here. Oh, goodness gracious. That's only a 3, Phil. Boy, oh boy. Lane 21 has been tough. That's a good ball, though, for Phil. It's about all you can do at that point. So disappointing. Phil on the spare, even though it was a head pin hit for Phil Clough. 6 in the box, so that gives him 44 through 5. And not feeling much better on the results. Just hitting the 3-pin this time, but again, nothing really good happened there, but we're going to shoot for the spare. A little heavy, 3 remain on the deck. And good pickup for the final 2 on the right. That'll be a 9-box for Phil. 54 through 6. Phil's had 3 splits so far here in the 3rd string. Dan steps up at 28. Let's see if he can get back on the head pin. He does. Well, he's got some wood on the right that can move around. And move it around, he does. Still 2 pins remain. That'll be an 8. So 36 for Dan through 5. He knows Phil's at 54. Off to the left side this time. 3 in 1 row. This can be made. Danny can make these. We know that. And he just misses just to the right by a smidge. And that'll be an 8. So 54 to 44 here. After 6 boxes and 3rd string. So a little over halfway done. The way each bowler started out, I thought we were going to have some record scores tonight, but a little bit of a break in the action and some tough breaks. So Phil up 10 as we go to the 7th frame. Looking to pick up his first 2 points of the night. And here's a spare ball there. All but 2.
Let's go, come on.
And a good job there connecting for the 10 box.
No.
And right in on the head pin, and goodness, Phil's seen this before, the 5 and 10. This time no wood to play with.
Nobody over there. Get some lift on her.
Phil connects with the 10 in 74 through 8. Yes, Kyle, I believe that's the case. Now, when I got here earlier, Danny said we're going 2 at a time. Both bowlers agree to do that. Danny with it. It's a tough potential conversion here, though. Off to the right. Even though Danny's yet to mark here in the third string, it's still within his grasp if it gets hot, like he has in the first two. So that'll give him 9:53 through 7. Of course, Phil's at 74 through 8. So still within striking distance. Danny off to the left. Does get the 10 pin to fall, which is always helpful. This spare somehow always seems to be more able to be picked up, and it does. I think it would have taken the 10 anyway. It's a big spare for Danny. I'll put him at 63 and a ball. Phil was at 74. Working, finishing in here in the 9th. And oh goodness, ay, ay, ay. Phil is shaking his head in disbelief here. Gonna try to pick off one at a time. Gets one there. That's 5 splits and 9 boxes here for Phil. That's a 9 for 83 through 9. Phil would dearly love a mark here. Pucks 2 off on the left-hand side. And gonna give it a run. Leaving just 2. Every pin critical here. So that'll be a 10 for Phil. 93 with 5 splits. Danny up at 63. He's got a ball working here as he starts the 9th. Knowing one mark could be enough. That's a 7 Phil. We got a split, we'll get some wood on the deck. So Danny knows he needs 24 in these 2. Tie. 24 to take the lead. Goes to the right. Come down to the final box here. Just off to the right, that will be an 8. So 78 through 9. Danny needs 15 to tie, 16 to take the 3rd string. So here we go. Oh, wow. Those 2 pins fell late. We've got the 1 and a wiggling 9. Some wood that can rattle around on the deck. Off to the left, he almost steals it. The wood comes across just behind the head pin. So Phil Clough will win the 3rd string, get his first 2 points of the night. There's a pitcher's duel here. 9 box for Danny and 87. You can't find many more exciting finishes to strings than that. 93 to 87. Phil Clough takes the 3rd string and cuts into Danny's match lead. So we'll post that for everyone to see. know people are tuning in and out because that's usually me. You see Danny took the first string by 11, took the second by 8. Phil comes back and takes the third by 6. 13 pin difference as we start string 4. 9 pin drop. So nice wood out in front, we think. And Phil gets it with, actually the ball takes down the pin that time. That wood was out there just a little bit. But always great to start this string with a spare. Looking at a Phil here, just off to the right. We've got 6, 7. All right, a head pin hit with that wood between the 2 and 4. Could take it. Oh, just nudges the head pin. Thanks you guys for tuning in. I see Moira is out there. I'll bring home some milk if we need it at home. Or bread. But anyway, that's a 10 for Phil, 27 through 2, so nice to get off to a fast start. Well, no reward for hitting the head pin that time for Danny. That will be a split. And almost splits those, but not quite. And an 8. So 17 through 8 after the first frame. Phil got a 10 in the second to get to 27. And that was a really good head pin hit. Everything but the 10. Danny trying to match Phil's spare Phil got in the first. And there's the single pin hit. So both bowlers off to good starts here in the second string. That doesn't count as a split. Feels like it. Feels just as bad. Let's see if Phil can work out of it. Leaving just 3. That's a pro 9 there from Phil Clough. 36 through 3.
Get out.
Off to the right, just leaving the 4 horsemen left-hand side.
Come on, Jerry.
Got a shot at it. Oh, just a bit full. And that'll be an 8-boxer, Phil. 44 through 4. Lots of 4s going on there. Danny looking to fill his spare in the second. He's at 18 plus his fill ball here. Big head pin hit. It's an 8-pin fill, and is that going to get into the gutter? Oh no. Unbelievable. It's creeping its way right into the gutter when it decided to go back. It's actually picking up speed. Phil Clough will go out there and
Top in the wood was going to come back and knock him down.
So with that 8 fill gives Danny 26 through 2. Phil, of course, had 27. But Phil had a 9 and an 8 box. So any kind of mark here in these two put Danny in the lead in the string. In case you're just tuning in, that's the scoreboard here after 3. Danny looking for a spare. And he connects. So both bowls picking up the pace here. 4th string. And Danny off to the left. He'll take 6 out of that though, I think. Happy with that count. So that gives him 42 through 3. This one has possibilities. The head pin hit. Plus there's some wood out on the left that can help. And it does. And he connects, hitting the left-hand side of the head pin. That's 3 marks in a row for Danny. No $50, but he'll take the 3 marks in a row. Here comes Phil needing some marks here himself, and oh boy. Scoreboard here in Millis has been lighting up with red lights like a Christmas tree here for Phil Clough tonight. And that'll be a 7, so 51 through 5 for Phil. Oh goodness, this time another head pin hit off the Brooklyn side, and the head pin went flying into the right hand side and only picked up the 10, but Phil with a great bid. And that'll be a 9. So Phil at par at 60 through 6. 2 head pin hits and nothing to show for it. Meanwhile, Danny's stepping up here at 52 and a ball. Looks to increase his lead. Look out. It's an 8-pin drop, 8 on the spare, 60 through 4. Going for 4 in a row. Bingo.
Hey, where's that powder?
Another big fill of 8, and what looks like a good opportunity for his 5th consecutive spare. Here it is, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. That's 5 in a row. Really good Phil balls too, and Phil back on it. And come on, one more for Phil. Danny has 5 consecutive spears. Phil has 3 consecutive splits. Let's see if we can pull this one off. And that'll be a 9 for 69 through 7 for Phil.
Going to Dave, not me.
Another head pin hit, a little bit light, and well, he's had the 5 and 10. This time it's the 8 and 10. Will any of that wood help? Gotta hit it somewhere. And he gets it. It does go. Big spear in the 8th for Phil. Needed something to get going here. Looking to start a streak of his own. Up steps Danny here in the 7th. He's got marks in every frame but the first. And this will be a challenge. That'll be a 3 fill. It's at 91 through 6. Oh, hits the object right through. And off to the right, but it's only 6, but still 97 through 7. Dan with a really good string going here. Phil was at 79 in the ball here through 8. Danny looking to get back on the spear and strike train. Split for him though. Dan had some really good fills on all of his marks. 8, 6, 8, 8, except for the last one, the 3. That's a heck of an out there of a 9. So 106 through 8. Phil's at 79. And this ball right here. That's a 9 Phil. Danny telling Phil to go get this one. Come around, and just off to the right. Phil cleans up to the 10, 98 through 9 for Phil. We dearly love a mark here just to try to keep this string as close as possible and the total as close as possible. For the spare. Oh. 5 left, a couple pieces of wood in the middle. Hey Greg, Dave Peterson here. And way to finish for Phil Clough. Really nice 10. Tough string, especially in the middle. Punch outs, spread eagles. He's clipped eagles, you name it. Half Worcesters. And up steps Danny Finn, his final two here in the fourth string from Millis. That's an 8-pin drop to 1 and 10. We'll summarize the scores here once Danny's finished, but that ball did give him officially the fourth string, and that was a big spare. Nicely done, the 1 and 10. 6th spare of the fourth string. Again right through the middle. Holy smokes, we've seen a lot of these tonight. Too many. Still a 14 box though, and 120 through 9. And that'll be an 8 for Danny, but a very impressive 128. Phil with a 108. So Phil will fill out the scorecard here. It's a 33-pin difference, though, that Danny will lead.
6 marks against 1.
We're going to go to the 5th string here. For those just tuning in, Danny in the first, Danny in the second, Phil in the third, Danny by 20 in the fourth, 33-pin lead. We go to the 5th and final game. Phil just off to the right. He's had a few of those tonight where he's hit the object, but just ever so slightly and just picking off the object pin. But good chance for a 10 here. And he gets it. Yes, Greg, we're going from summer into fall, or summer into autumn here, so the weather's cooling off after a pretty dry summer. And in the meantime, Phil's got a 2 and 2. There is some wood there, but this is going to be a memorable one if he can pull it off. Oh, he almost caps it. Just picks off the 7. Boy, Phil makes that one always look so easy. This 6 and 10. So 9 box at 19 through 2. And final string. Danny has his first ball working and has to be disappointed that that pin just fell late. But he'll try to move this wood around here. Let's see. Well, it moves, but doesn't move into the 10 pin. And that'll be a 10 box. Each bowler with 10s in the first frame. Phil got a 9 in the second box. Danny. 9-pin drop. Piece of wood out front.
You're up.
I'd say red line into the left. Let's see. Thought the red line might cover it. That'll be a 9. So each bowler at 19 through 2. Phil would love to win this string and go home with 4 points tonight. He already leads the division, was 24-4. Yeah, we're doing 2 boxes at a time here.
That's twice.
Phil, I would think. Well, let's see what he tries to do here. Got the check mark. Oh, just a bit heavy on the object. And again, Phil, this time a little heavy on the 6. Right on the object, though. That's a 9 for 28-3. All right, no splits this time. That's an 8-pin drop. Phil had one on the right-hand side, a little bit similar to this one, where he hit the object, or hit the wood, it didn't go. Hopefully this time it'll plow right through, and it does. Big spare in the 4th for Phil, 38 in the ball. Danny just to the outside there. Looking for a big out ball. Hey, Michael Fabrizio Smith, howdy. Boy, flirting with danger there with Danny, but I think he'll be happy with 7 after that. Ball was perilously close to going down the hole. So 26-3 for Danny. Gives Phil's 28 and he's on a spare. Danny says, why don't I just get a strike? Each bowler on a mark here as they start the 5th. Phil on a spare, looking for a big Phil right now. Up 2 so far in the string. And this time he hits it in the pocket. Oh, it almost matches Danny's strike. And we have an interesting setup here with that wood far away on the left, way out there. Phil's going to avoid it, and he hits it perfectly. Wow, right on target. Didn't hit the cap of the other wood. Spare on spare, so a pair of marks in a row. That was a huge 9, Phil. Looking to do the same thing again. Off the Brooklyn side. All right, gets 6 in the diamond. And that will be just off to the right. Get 2 out of the 4. And Phil cleans up the final 2. Boy, he's really good with those 2 pinners. Good pinning all around, though. So that'll be a 10 box, 73-6. Danny's working on a strike, though. He's at 36-2.
Yeah! Come on, yeah! Make sure it gets it to him.
Right on the head pin. Again, interesting wood here. This tough is this spare opportunity. This lever is really a tough one. Got a couple pieces of wood. We'll see what happens. Nice try. Typically one that's really tough to get unless you have a perfect piece of wood on the front. And that'll be an 8. So 52 through 5. We know Phil's at 73, so similar to an earlier string. Dan needs a mark to stay really close. He would love to get 12 points. Phil, at this point, love to get 4. Looks like total would be in hand. Here, Danny with the head pin hit, leaving just a 2-pinner himself. That wood shouldn't come into play. That looks like it's behind the pins there, just off to the left. That would have taken it, but instead it's a 10, so it's good pinning. All right, we've bowled 6. Phil 73, Danny 62. And a different variation here. This time it's a 3-in-1 split. Phil's cut the match lead to 20, what did we say? 22 from 33. Oh. So for total, he'd pretty much need to mark out at this point. Certainly capable or able to do that. That one's just off to the right. 82 through 7.
Come on.
And finally, a split averted here for Phil. Big spear opportunity here. Another 2-pinner, no problem at all. Huge spear in the 8th for Phil. So Danny was down 11 coming into these 2 boxes in the string. On the 3 and leaves the 1, 2, 4. And he connects. Big spear for Danny. Right in again on the head pin, 8-pin drop. So through completed boxes, 82 to 80, Phil has the lead. Phil with the mark in the 8th. Danny looking to match. And he does. Game on here. We come down to the final 2 frames. Spear fills are going to be critical right here. Fill up 2 in the string. He's going to hit the hit pin a little light, but it's an 8-pin drop, and again the 5 and 10 are left. Got some wood. Let's see whatever. And he gets it. Wasn't a great job by Phil. He knows the way Danny's been bowling late that he would need at least 1. I'm sure he's thinking he needs another one with a big fill right here. And he's right there in a split, but a 6 fill on the previous spare. There is some wood behind those 3 on the left. Fill at 116 through 9. Let's see if we can split them. Send it across. It's going. Oh no! Moved it right in front of the wood that's in front of the 10. That was rolling at a pretty good pace though. And Phil picks it up. 126. So great finishing string here by Phil, and that pretty darn close to picking up that spare there in the 10th. Meantime, Danny is at 90 and a ball here as he starts the 9th. Needing to get to 126. Just 3. But still a spare opportunity on the board. He's at 93. Just punches out 2. He will need a double strike to win the 3rd string. Look out there. 1, 2, that's an 8. So we're at 101. So Phil's up 25 in this string. Great finishing rally here by Phil. Not enough for total as he was down 33 coming in. So that has already been decided. Danny needs a strike right here. Just had this lead a moment ago. So Phil Clough will take the 5th and final string. Danny will take 3 strings for 6 points plus total for 2 more for a total of 10. Phil will get 4. That's a 9 box and a 110 for Danny Finn. Super competitive match here. Both bowlers going right at it, 2 on 2, two frames at a time. We'll show you the final scoreboard in just a second.
Great ball.
I was going to say for all of America to see, but for all of America and Australia to see. Quick summary, Danny and Phil came out of the gates like crazy, 132 to 121. Things slowed down a bit as Danny takes the 2nd, the 3rd, but they picked up in the 4th. Danny with a 128 to 108 victory, but Phil rallies in the 5th for 126 to 110. Total, only a 17-pin difference when all is said and done. Danny takes it 558 to 541, 10 points to 4. That will do it here on a Friday night in Millis. We'll see you on the ACST Facebook page. Thanks for joining us.